All right, so Shane here with daily-astrocat.com. We're talking about astrology here. We're going to talk about big astrology right now because what I want to talk about is I want to talk about this astrology for Sunday, the 22nd of June, daily astrology the way you like it. Now, we've been having some correspondence. We've been throwing some things out there. Stay to the end. You're going to get a number. You're going to get, what else do we give you? An event and a birthday. But right for now, let's start with the Moon in Taurus, okay? The Moon in Taurus is going to be in Taurus all day long, and it will be going, let's see. It's going to be going void of course at 9:50 and will enter Gemini at 10:57 p.m. Not a very long void of course period, about a day. Now, let's talk about void of course because this is one of the first things. Patricia happened to mention that she wanted to talk about some of the more difficult aspects, and believe it or not, a void of course moon can make things kind of interesting, right? A lot of times, say like we go to work, like think about the last Friday. Well, okay, normally you don't want to go to work on Friday anyway, but last Friday we had the void of course moon just in the morning, right when you're just about ready to get started and be like, yeah, I'm ready to get... No, I'm not. I'm not doing anything today. I don't want to do anything. Can we all go home? Yes, that's what those void of course moons do. They're not good for initiating new beginnings. They're not good for much of any... They're not good for... initiatory behavior, right? What they're good for is they're good for reflecting and they're good for getting ready to switch gears, right? We start to see some of the things manifest from the old moon. So say like for a Taurus moon, yeah, we want to be living up well. We want to be doing something good, right? As we get towards that evening and all of a sudden it starts, you're going to start feeling that Gemini stuff coming in, right? A little bit more chatty, a little bit more effervescent. It's going to be hard to go to bed because those air signs are like fire signs, right? Don't really want to go to bed that much, right? So, it's a resistant thing, right? It's like, oh my goodness, the ideas, they keep on going. I just want to keep talking. Yes, something like that. And fire signs are just, particularly Aries, are just known for not sleeping. Anyway, 5 hours a night, guys. That's about it. Mostly. All right, so... except last night when I fell down the stairs. Okay, wrench my back a little bit. It's fine. Nothing that a little bit of painkillers can't help, right? Can't hurt. I did manage to bring in a 42-pound bookcase today and put it together over there, and it's got all sorts of candles on it and stuff like that. I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of cool. But yeah, there it is. Brand new, right? Just put it over there. So it's got a couple candles on it, white candles, and it's got a green candle on there just for a little bit of a mood and attention. It ended up falling out of the package, landed on the floor. Firm believer in that stuff, right? Hope you are too. So anyway, let's talk about the astrology because today's a day of big energy and potential. Okay? What's preventing you from fully committing to your unique course of action? Okay, we get the Sun square Saturn. Now, this is going to be some insight into that, right? We're going to be able to think about this because that is what makes things difficult. Okay, Saturn says slow. No. It's the great brake pedal of the zodiac, right? It's just where we slow things down, where things get difficult, where things get tough. That's where the tough got to get going. Now. Jupiter, on the other hand, where the sun is at, is always like more. Give me more. I'll promise you everything, right? More. However, when we get promised more, what is it that we're really getting? And, think about it. With the sun's conjunct Jupiter, that means Jupiter is also square Saturn. So they're in that relationship where it's like Jupiter wants to give it all away, Saturn's going to hold it all back, right? There's something there about that. There's laws that are involved. There's the institution. I've told you, those two signs are the signs of the patriarchy. And right now the patriarchy seems to be in conflict with itself, right? We're not quite sure of what actions are being taken, who's given the actions, what the actions are doing, and what they're doing to our institutions, right? That's on a big scale. For us personally, honestly, what it really boils down to is that there's challenges that are in front of us that we have to be able to see and recognize and to go, okay? Now, what's the few things that we know? For some, it's a failure and inability to actually do the work, to get the work done, right? Sometimes we just feel like it's coming to us, it's due to us, right? You know what I'm talking about. Carrie was just talking about that today because she's a sun sign Leo, saying that, hey, sometimes she knows that if it's not perfect, if it's not right, she doesn't want to do it. She doesn't want to embark on it. She doesn't want to actually do the work because she can't do the work to the level that she thinks that it should be done at. The problem with that is that by doing the work, you actually improve on it, and the only way you improve on things is by actually doing them. So you kind of just got to be like, not just like, okay, I'm good, I can do this. No, you have to be able to just look at it and do the work. Sometimes it's messy, right? Roll up your sleeves. I'm wearing short sleeves, so I can't really roll them up. It'd be a great visual, though, don't you think? And do the work. Now, for others, it may be that they haven't fully realized their passion, okay? Because it really doesn't take a lot of passion to get through the I don't want us, to get through the Saturn saying, the just every little roadblock, every excuse, right? Excuses. We don't want to make excuses. We want to make changes. We want to make positive changes. We don't want to excuse our behavior. We want to accept responsibility for what's ours and then step into it, okay? That's kind of a nice thing to do. That's what this season's all about, right? The start of the Cancer season. It's home stuff, right? It's based at home. Right now, we are in sync with the moon, and the moon is telling us to just hold back a little bit. We did the harvest. We got to get to planning for the next phase, the next month, right? That's where we're at. We're waiting, not waiting, but that new moon is going to come and that energy is going to be there so that when this stuff comes up out of us, is it the seedling growing from the cup or is it the alien popping out of the stomach? We just don't know, right? Now, this week we're going to explore what's brought us up to this point, and we're going to have to ask ourselves, what are the next steps? What are we going to be doing, right? How are we going to make this happen? Today's keyword is questioning, because we're going to be questioning that stuff. I know I'm going to be going back and kind of trying to write a bit more so that the blogs that I have are germane to the things that I want to post as far as shorts, live streams, and definitely the daily astrocat, right? Getting a little bit more into shorts, doing some stuff on, TikTok, doing stuff here on YouTube, and also doing some things on Facebook. Facebook seems kind of the flattest of the ones. I'm also on Threads and Instagram, but Facebook kind of cross-posts all that stuff. I don't know if it's quite effective or not, or if it just makes me seem spammy. I'm not sure. Anyway, today's keyword, that is definitely questioning. And the color is shady green leaves. We're in summer, right? They're all have emerged. They're there. It's enjoyable. You can, when it's windy out, you can hear the song, the trees singing, the leaf songs, right? The wind in the leaves. It's beautiful. The questions are coming from a different place inside of us, okay? Intuition. That's where it's at, right? We're not using the logical mind, although Mercury is going to be lickety-split out of Cancer. But for right now, we're using that intuition, right? That's where we're at. Now, the veil, okay, it's awakening because the veil is thinnest, right? Midsummers. We're right here. 23rd, 24th, that's the traditional celebration, right? We had the solstice on the 20th. 23rd is Midsummer's Eve. 24th, veil is thin. We also happen to be having that new moon on the 25th. So we're going to be able to take that intuition and go forward with it. We're challenged to choose a door, right? Basically, that's what we're challenging ourselves. A portal. There's a portal in front of us. What timeline are you on? What portal is that? That determines the portal that you're going to take. Look, frequency, crystalline structures, and light comprise our perceptive universe, the perceptible universe. Can we visit the harmonic dimensions? Neptune conjunct Saturn in Aries suggests that this could very well be a possibility. It also suggests that we need to curb some of the things that we may do that are addictive. Aries Aries energy makes to make it want to go big, but it's square with the sun, right? So those can be a hindrance as well. So make sure that we've got that grip on what it is that we're doing, and we're going to be able to take that art forward. I've got a whole theory about Neptune and Aries that's just fantastic, and it's going to be great for creating, But you got to do the reflective work today and make sure that when we come out of it on Wednesday, you're heading in that proper direction. All right. The moon in Taurus is rooted in reality. Yeah, oh my goodness. Who wants to throw a bucket of stuff onto things, right? What the heck? Who wants to throw a bucket of water on this? Right? What does this have to do with earthly pleasures? All this thinking and questioning and what are we doing? We're here for now, right? Think about it. Look, the moon's going to encounter Uranus today. And it's questioning his entire experience in Taurus, right? Uranus also happens to be square Mars. So that's why there's some surprising things and very bellicose things that are happening around the world. Uranus also controls flight. There's been some pretty prominent flight accidents that have been happening because of that square with Mars, because Mars is just that action, right? It's action in Virgo. If there's a loss of precision, if there's something that's not taken a look at or something like that, if it's not been gone over thoroughly, check 1, check 2, check 3, then you can see something bad coming from it. We better hope that everything is well thought out at higher levels than ourselves, right? We know better. Tonight, dreams are going to be very thought-provoking, okay? And now for the promised event. I promised you an event, and our event is in 2006, the film The Devil Wears Prada came out and it was starring Meryl Streep, Anne Hathaway, and Emily Blunt. And it premieres in L.A. It premiered in L.A., that's right. And our birth is Ada Yonit. She's 86 years old. She's born in 1939 on this day. She's an Israeli crystallographer and Nobel laureate in chemistry in 2009. She's born in Jerusalem and in Israel. She's best known for her pioneering work on the structure of ribosomes. And ribosomes, that actually helped to come up with better understanding of antibiotics and antibiotic resistance, okay? She is still alive, and she's currently the director of the Helen and Milton A. Kimmelman Center for Biomolecular Structure and Assembly of the Weizmann Institute of Science. And that's all I have for you. Give myself tongue twisters, right? All right, so let's recap all of this stuff, right? Our color is shady green leaves, and the key word is questioning. Thank you so much for joining me. I will appreciate and love each and every single one of you. Hit the button below, subscribe, do all that nice stuff. Today is a 5. Happy astrocatting.